The Freedom Fights, 1918 to 1920. The freedom fights happened in 4 parts. Before the 4 parts, the communist-made Red Army took over countries under Germany's rule. Latvia needed to think, how would they protect themselves from Russia, and how would they get the German military out? They needed to make an army. In these fights, 3 armies took part in them: Latvia, Germany, and Russia. Part 1. Russian communists in Moscow made Latvia's government and made Peter Stučka the leader of said government. They passed a verdict that Latvia would be made as a communist country, Latvija Socialistiskā Padomju Republika. On the 4th of December, Russians crossed Latvia's border. On the 3rd of January, they took over Riga. Latvia's government moved to Liepāja, but German and Latvian forces moved back to Venta. At the start, the communists had a lot of backers, but after a couple of months, they learned that their newly founded country wouldn't be free, and communism won't make their lives better. Because of this reaction, it gave the government and German forces a chance to apprehend the Russians, and on the 3rd of March, start a counterattack in the whole front. At the end of March, German and Latvian forces were already at the gates of Riga. Second part. Germans together with Latvians took over Riga. Then after that, the Russian forces moved back to Rēzekne. But now, the Latvians had another problem. The Germans that fought with Latvia had some other plans. On the 6th of June, Latvia and Estonia fought the Germans, and that started the Cēsi fights. The Germans lost. On the 3rd of July, the Germans were forced to write the Stratmoža peace treaty. With that, the Germans promised to leave Latvia. The third part. The Germans weren't in a hurry to leave, and again tried to take over Latvia. R. von der Goltz, together with Piepermont powers, made an army. He called it the West Russian Army. In October, the Berman powers started their invasion on Latvia. After week-long fights, in 1919, on the 11th of November, the Bremont powers were forced to leave Riga. The fourth part. January 1920. Latvia, together with Poland, took over Latgale. On the 1st of February 1920, Russians were forced to write a peace treaty. All the territories that Latvians lived in came into the hands of the Latvian government. 1920, 11th of August. Latvia and Russia signed a peace treaty. And that concludes the freedom fights. After these fights came many dark days for Latvia. The freedom fights didn't conclude Russia's lust for blood.